What's the difference between ethnicity and race? These are concepts that can be hazy and confusing, but today we're here to help you figure it out. Hi, I'm Javi with Unexpected Tours and Training, and welcome back to Coming to Terms. In this series, we take a deep dive into the important words and terms that shape our understanding of the world, especially the kind of terms that come up often in our workshops. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel. This will ensure that you stay in the loop on the best and most relevant practices sprouting up throughout the virtual DEI training and team building world. First of all, how do we differentiate ethnicity from race? Why does this nuance matter? And why is it common to get them confused? Words like ethnicity and related words like ethnic were first coined in the 1920s. They were and still are used to describe a group of people with shared culture, language, history, sets of traditions, and more. Some people confuse ethnicity with racial identity, but they are not the same. Race is sometimes part of ethnic identity. For example, being of Yoruba identity tends to indicate being racially black, and so on. But it's important to understand this is not always the case. To clarify, let's turn to the definition of race next. Race is different from ethnicity because it refers to a group of people sharing certain outward physical characteristics, first and foremost, with shared traits of culture and history second. Race can focus on skin color, but not always. One way that race is distinct from ethnicity, it is sometimes possible to determine someone's racial identity based on their physical characteristics like skin color or even voice. But it is much harder to identify someone's ethnicity just by looking at them. This requires getting to know them. In either case, it's best not to make assumptions about ethnicity or racial identity just by looking at someone. That is an important takeaway here. Let's dig into the differences a little more. Unlike ethnicity, race is a broad category covering appearance, physical characteristics, and sometimes genetics and ancestry in people. Terms like white, black, East Asian, and Native American are considered racial categories. Ethnicity is a more narrow category, or sometimes considered a subcategory of race. For example, someone could be racially Southeast Asian, but claim a Jewish ethnicity or culture. Race and ethnicity are different kinds of identities a person can have. Could a term be considered both racial and ethnic? Hispanic or Latinx/Latiné identity is a great example of a term that is widely considered to refer to race, but also encompasses many different ethnicities. Someone can be of Hispanic or Latiné ethnicity, but also racially white, black, Native American or Indigenous, Asian. They could even be more than one or even all of these races. At the same time, one could also be culturally Mexican, Chicano, Guatemalan, Spanish, or another culture or ethnicity that is considered Hispanic. Here are even more examples to help you differentiate race from ethnicity. Now, let's say your coworker or employee appears racially white. Later, you learn they are nationally or ethnically Cuban. English is their second language, and they identify as having a Hispanic identity instead of white. Their race could be called either white, Hispanic, or Latiné. Their ethnicity is Cuban. On the other hand, let's say your other coworker or employee appears racially black, and they mention that their parents came to America from Haiti. You later learn that they would rather be referred to as black or African American instead of Latinx, Haitian, or even Caribbean. Their race is black, and their culture or ethnicity is American or African American, with ethnic roots in Haiti or the Caribbean. One final way to think of the difference between ethnicity and race could be to say that race is something that someone is born with, while ethnicity is something acquired through culture and family. But we want to be sure to mention, and this is important, that both race and ethnicity are socially constructed. That means that in a society, people have invented them and used them to differentiate between groups of people, to sort people into hierarchies based on perceived race and ethnicity, and to assign power to those hierarchies. So it's extra important to learn not just about how to describe race or ethnicity, but also how these categories impact other people's experiences in the world. That sums up our breakdown of race versus ethnicity for now. Learning the differences between racial, ethnic, and other identities in the workplace helps create an environment of comfort and respect. Thanks for watching. But don't hesitate to keep the discussion on this topic going in the comments section below. Better yet, don't hesitate to reach out to help you navigate these waters and bolster diversity, equity, and inclusion with your remote and hybrid work teams. Until next time.